controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a virus.
Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here, Global Government News, covering an article that is a follow-up to the video. I guess you could say a botched video, but there's nothing really I did wrong on my end. It just didn't load properly, or it was just a bad file. Either way, I have this video from the actual website talking about the police officer that made a comment on Facebook about how he thinks that, cops, if they see an open carry advocate, that he should be shot. And hey, it's a big joke, right? It's a big joke, but he is an authority, right? He is able to carry a gun because we allow him to carry a gun. And so if we have an individual like that with a badge, which is a symbol of power, right? Authority, and then you have him carrying a gun because we allow him, so we allow him to have that power with a badge and authority, and then we give him the power to carry a gun, then, if he sees this individual right here, area resident Adnan Shahab, whatever, open carry advocate, if he sees him, what is he gonna do? Just, I thought he was a criminal. I shot him in the leg. It's like, this is what it's coming down to, man. Is I guess if you don't exercise that right, like free speech, it just goes away, right? And then eventually, when you start to use it, right, to exercise it and say, well, look, you better back the hell off. You can't just start treating citizens like they're pieces of scum. You're not our masters, police. You work for us. And so, when, here I am in the process of halfway having my, actually it's not an open carry, it's a conceal carry permit to exercise my constitutional right, and as a veteran. And so, yeah, it would feel weird to have to do that. And people are like, well, why do you do that? Why do you need to do that? It's because, you know what? Because we're about to lose this ability. And if you lose that ability, then when the shit hits the fan, you're just a little slave, It's there for a reason. It's not for show. But in a sense, when it comes down to it, it can be, right? You're not supposed to be walking around like a hard ass, like the Old West, ready to just start shooting people. But you wear it as a kind of a symbol, as the freedom that we're allowed to have, unlike most countries in the world. So I think I kind of said my piece on that, and let's go to this article. It says, a controversy was brewing in East Palo Alto Tuesday night after a police detective made apparently joking comments through his Facebook account saying open carry advocates who visibly carry guns in public should be shot. Now, East Palo Alto has become a reluctant testing ground for a battle of constitutional amendments. One police officer's freedom of speech versus a group's right to bear arms. And of course, this police officer, I'm not bashing his freedom to speak, freedom to speak his mind, and I don't think that he should have anything taken away from him or be reprimanded or anything like that. But yeah, you have the freedom to speak, like I'm speaking right now. But people are going to leave not bad comments, but they're going to leave comments that are opposed to mine, right, to my beliefs. And some of them are just straight up being paid to make bad comments to my videos. But I that's the freedom that I have to speak my mind. But also, I'm welcoming people that have different views, which I respect, and we have haters, and then we have paid bloggers who are paid by the government, right, to set us straight, and to correct the truth. And so, yeah, he has the freedom to speak his mind as well. But I'm sure the police force, maybe, I would hope, wink, wink, would look at his comment and say, do we really want this individual out now? And if we would have known he thought like that, then maybe we wouldn't have gave him that badge, right? Which is like kind of like an honor, or should be. And it says area resident Adnan Shahab is an open carry advocate who frequently goes out in public displaying an unloaded gun on his belt. Such activity is legal in California with certain restrictions, such as staying clear of schools. Shahab said he was, and what if you live by a school? I'm not even going to go there. Shahab said he was offended by Facebook remarks posted by East Palo Alto detective Rod Tucson, who published a comment said he agreed with a friend that open carry advocates should come to Oakland, Richmond, and East Palo Alto. An apparent joke said the officers should shoot the advocates. Quote, so it's a little shocking and disappointing to hear that a sworn officer is basically so cavalier with violating a person's Second Amendment rights and basically putting a bullet in them for absolutely nothing wrong, said Shahab. East Palo Alto police were investigating whether the remarks violate department policies, which, like I said, I don't think they do. But in the military, you're actually not able to speak freely. That was my impression while I was in the military, was that yes, you can do things, but you really can't be too active. That would give that service, that branch, make him look in a bad light, right? So, which is kind of weird, and I think it's totally jacked up. But hey, whatever. That's a different story as well. Police also point out the remarks were made in a personal, private web page and were only made public by a blogger. East Palo Alto Mayor David Woods told KTVU by phone that he was waiting for the police department investigation. He also expressed some misgivings about the behavior of open carry advocates. He said, but I am concerned, although it's legal, about people walking around with firearms. So see, this is your typical fascist mayor. Possibly may even work for the CIA or NSA. Adnan Shahab said he believes the fact that comments came from a Facebook exchange make the remarks and any perceived threat more credible. He said, quite honestly, I feel a little unsafe going to East Palo Alto right now, explained Shahab. Police said there is no timetable for the investigation. And Detective Tuason remained on duty and did not return KTVU's call requesting an interview. So he has a right to deny an interview, and yeah, so let's check it out here, and let's see how much we can get here out of this.
Controversy is brewing in East Palo Alto tonight after a police detective's comments on his Facebook account were made public. At issue, a reference to people who visibly carry guns in public, so-called open carry advocates. The detective said they should be shot, but he claims he was just joking. KTVU's Robert Honda joins us now. He's in East Palo Alto with the details. Robert.
Julie, East Palo Alto has become a reluctant testing ground for a battle of constitutional amendments, a police detective's freedom of speech versus someone's right to bear arms. Adnan Shahab is an open carry advocate, displaying an unloaded gun on his belt publicly, which is legal in California with certain restrictions, such as staying clear of schools. Shahab says he is offended by Facebook remarks from an East Palo Alto detective, Rod Tucson, who said in essence he agreed with a friend that open carry advocates should come to Oakland, Richmond, and East Palo Alto, and in an apparent joke said officers should shoot the advocates.
So it's a little shocking and disappointing to hear that a sworn officer is basically so cavalier with violating a person's Second Amendment rights and basically putting a bullet in them for doing absolutely nothing wrong.
East Palo Alto police are investigating whether the remarks violate department policies. Police also point out the remarks were made in a personal private webpage made public by a blogger. Mayor David E. Woods told us by phone he is waiting for the police department investigation.
But I am concerned, although it's legal, about people walking around with firearms.
Adnan Shahab says he believes the fact the comments came from a Facebook exchange makes the remarks and any perceived threat more credible.
I'm quite honestly am a little, I feel unsafe going to East Palo Alto right now.
Police say there is no timetable on the investigation. Rod Tucson remains on duty and did not return.
Well, there you go, guys. That's the best quality that I think we're going to be able to get squeeze out of that video. But I think you get the gist of it. And, you've seen that cop getting out of the car. It's just like, Yeah, they're all militarized. They want them to have all this power and all these gadgets, and then have us little slaves have nothing. Forget that, dude. Hell no. Thank you.